Hi there, Luke here with another video. For those of you unfamiliar with our channel, my husband Tyler and I make weekly travel videos where we document our experiences since moving from North America to the UK. In this current travel series, our time has been focused on our overland travel that we did in Spain, mostly by public transport, whereas this last part of the series, we had rented a car in Madrid, which we used to travel around northern Spain. And we are reaching the end of our time in Spain. It is just this video and our next and final video of Spain before we continue on to Portugal. In this video, we are going to take you from where we left off in the last video, which was in the Basque region, and we're going to take you to the region of Navarre and Aragon, which has a number of nice little hikes and cultural attractions to check out that are easiest to reach by car. So stay tuned throughout this video to get some really useful tips on things to do in this region of Spain. We're also going to include some nice little tidbits of Catalonia that are near the Navarre and Aragon region, and it just really made sense to include it here because we could not have reached these places without a car, and they are kind of close to where we're at. So stay tuned for that as well. If you enjoy these videos and want to help support us, please do consider giving a like, a comment, subscribe, or if you're so inclined to leave a tip with the super thanks button, it is always super appreciated because it really does help support this channel. All right, let's get into it. So like I said, we headed from the Basque region, which if you didn't see our last video, is a super cool region of Spain. And from the Basque region, we drove into the region of Navarre and Aragon. We started our day with a hike along the beautiful gorge, Foz de Lumbier. The Foz de Lumbier is a short, narrow gorge which is 1,300 meters long with vertical walls reaching a maximum height of 150 meters and is a nature reserve providing safe haven for a variety of animals and plant species. We found it was a nice time of day to walk around and enjoy the natural scenery, and there weren't too many people around, so it was a nice way to start off our time in this region. Nearby is another nice walking area called the Foz de Arbayún. After all of this, we headed to a cultural attraction, which is called the Castillo de Javier, which happens to be the birthplace of one of the co-founders of the Jesuits, Francisco Javier. It is currently a place of pilgrimage, especially at the beginning of March. We finished our day by visiting the Royal Monastery of San Juan de la Peña, which is a really unique monastery perched under a rock. It was one of the most important monasteries in Aragon in the Middle Ages. Its two-level church is partially carved in the stone of the great cliff that overhangs the foundation. San Juan de la Peña means Saint John of the Cliff, and it is certainly fitting given the surroundings that are around here. The Royal Monastery of San Juan de la Peña also featured a modern exhibition with a glass floor overlooking the ruins underneath, which was a really nice touch and a really cool way to present the information and things to see at this area that I haven't really seen in lots of other places, and I thought it was a fun addition. We spent the following morning hiking the Aragon Trail in the Ordesa y Monte Perdido National Park, which is an awesome place to check out if you're in the area. In order to get here, we took a small shuttle bus from the nearby town of Ordesa, which was already busy with people when we had gotten there quite early in the morning. So we had guessed that it was going to be quite a busy hike, but we were very pleasantly surprised to find out that even though the shuttle bus was busy, that when we arrived on the trail and started walking, that not many people were with us. And we kind of wondered, oh, is it because we're not doing the best trail? But I think you'll see through the footage that we have here that it was definitely a worthwhile trail, absolutely beautiful, and we were just really amazed that there weren't a ton of people with us, because this was quite an exceptional hike in our opinion. We can't stress enough that it is important to get to the parking lot early for this shuttle bus because it really does fill up quite quickly. The other part to arriving early is that the morning light that we had on this hike was really quite spectacular and really a great way to experience the natural beauty of this region. After we were finished with the hike, we took the shuttle bus back into town and we enjoyed walking around the small town of Ordesa. I always enjoy little towns like this with the cute little buildings and with the mountain scenery in the background. It just has a very idyllic, sweet vibe to it. After we were finished in the Navarre and Aragon region, we actually proceeded to drive into Catalonia a bit, which, if you recall, was where we started our journey in Spain, in Barcelona. But the reason why we saved these particular spots in Catalonia for the end is because they are much easier to reach by car, and it was only at the end of the trip that we had a car. We drove from the Parque Nacional de Ordesa y Monte Perdido to the Mont-Rebei Gorge in Catalonia, and it took about 2.5 hours. We reserved kayaks with a company called Kayaking Mont-Rebei, and this is located in the Congost de Mont-Rebei, which is formed by the Noguera Ribagorzana River as it passes through the Serra del Montsec and is the only gorge in Catalonia that remains untouched. We picked up our kayaks at the meeting point and headed out on our little kayak adventure through the gorge. And I really have to say, it was absolutely beautiful. It was just really nice to take our time paddling through the water, enjoying seeing other people having fun and enjoying the nice weather. And it was just a really great, peaceful, calm way to enjoy the natural scenery around us. We managed to have a nice little picnic lunch at the end of the designated route and enjoyed taking the views of the water and surrounding gorge. After a few hours, we returned the kayaks and headed out on our next stop, which was called Aigüestortes y Estany de Saint Maurici National Park. We stayed at a campsite called Camping Vora Park, which is located near the town of Espot. The following morning, we headed out on the popular Sant Maurici Lake Loop Trail, which was by far one of our favorite hikes that we did in all of Spain and was a real treat considering this was at the end of our time in Spain and we did not expect to have one of our favorite hikes at the very, very end of our trip in Spain. So what a fun surprise that was. What really made this hike special is that it really did have lots of different things to look at and enjoy. It has mountain views, lakes, and waterfalls that are all just really breathtaking. And you can really take some time to enjoy this place. Again, another spot that I don't know if it was just the time of day that we went, but we were completely by ourselves, and that was such a cool feeling to enjoy these idyllic, perfect landscapes all by yourself. It really felt so amazing. Alright everyone, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope that you learned something about this part of Spain and hopefully inspired you to visit this part of Spain, because the regions of Navarre and Aragon, as well as some of the more natural scenery beauty areas of Catalonia, are really quite exceptional, and I'm really glad that we took the time and the effort to rent a car and do this particular route, because we just had such a great time on lots of hikes, some interesting cultural explorations, and overall we found that we were pleasantly surprised by the little surprises that we found in these regions. If you enjoyed this video, again, please do give a like, comment, subscribe, or leave a tip via the super thanks button. It really helps support us. And stay tuned for our next video where we take you to the Madrid and Zaragoza region of Spain. And this is the last video of our Spain journey before heading to Portugal. So be sure to check it out and really see what the capital region of Spain has to offer. See you at the next video. Bye.